Welcome back, neighbors of Plano, Texas. Griffin Thomas here with Preferred Pest Management. I'm, of course, the owner of Preferred Pest Management in the Plano, Texas area. We provide the best, the industry leading pest control, mosquito control, wildlife removal, all those different services in the Plano, Texas area. I wanted to hop on here today just to give you guys an overall update just on, pest in Plano, Texas that we're dealing with right now. One thing that we've been doing recently is trying to negotiate with some of our chemical distributors where we get our products from. That way we can try to avoid raising costs. We notice a lot of our competitors having to start raising their price even way more than we could have imagined. And us having some difficult conversations with a lot of different not manufacturers, but distributors of these products has allowed us to be able to offer you guys some of the best pricing. We notice that a lot of people are price sensitive right now, which totally makes sense. A lot of people have been losing jobs and everything else over the last couple years. And like I said, we're just trying to make sure that, of course, we're not a nonprofit, so we do have to make money so our employees can eat and everything else. But at the same time, we are able to offer you guys pest control still for a price of around $39 per month on our general pest control plan. We do have a couple options with that because this is a quarterly service plan. It means we're coming out to your home every 3 months to keep the pests out of your home. This general pest control plan covers over 16 or 20 or more, actually, different general pests like carpenter ants, American cockroaches. Some people call those water bugs down here, but American cockroaches, spiders, which includes the venomous ones like black widow spiders, brown recluse, all these different type of spiders. Like I said, $39 a month is just under $120 per service. When you look at it from the actual cost per service side, it's about $117 a month. Now, this does vary based on the size of the property because obviously the larger the property, the more chemical, time, and resources we're going to have to put in to making sure we keep the pests out of your home. But most homes are going to be in the range of about $39 to $49 per month. And like we said, we do have options as well. If you don't like the idea of putting it into part of your monthly bill, we do this because we actually found most people like being able to be prepared for it on a monthly basis instead of paying for it every 3 months. We do have a couple options. Most people opt for the monthly payment option. However, if you wish to, you can do the pay per service option. It would come out to the same amount. It'd be 117 every quarter. Or the third option, of course, is that you just pay for the year up front. How that works is we just do the $39 times 12 months, and then that's what you'd be charged for the full year. This is actually going to save you the most money because when we come out, we obviously have to charge for the initial service, your cost of your first service. So it'd be around $120 essentially for your first service. And then your $39 per month or your 117 per quarter would kickstart after that. Where if you decide to go ahead and pay for the year, like we said, what we're just doing is we're taking $39 times 12 months, and it comes out, I believe, to somewhere around like 400, maybe 419, somewhere around there. So I always like to start with that. I always like to start with pricing because obviously pricing is a very big deal when it comes to the home service sector as a whole, not just pest control. But of course, what can you guys actually expect from us? So one thing I did forget to update is we now actually have over 145-star reviews. We still have a perfect 5.0 rating on Google. All of these reviews are actually pulling straight from Google. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if this is a deleted user now or what, but if you scroll through here, you'll actually see the pictures and everything of just different people leaving us reviews. These are not ones that like we plant in there. If you go and check our Google page, you'll see all these reviews are there. We're not like some of those companies that just put their own reviews on there with like no pictures or some default picture of some random person. Like, these are legit reviews from customers. And then if you want to learn about just different pest control plans that we do have to offer, I'll leave a link to this specific page in the description box down below. The plan that we were talking about here was like our general pest control plan. We call it our preferred pest control package. That's going to cover, like we said, carpenter ants and much more, give you a 365-day guarantee. We're also de-webbing and removing wasp nests, mud dauber nests, all of that around your home. And all of our plans come with auto scheduling, which means you don't have to worry about calling us back. We always have an automated message that will actually be sent from your technician to you directly. So when I say it's automated, it's not really automated. We still go in and do it. It's just your technician or our assistant Victoria reaching out to you personally just to make sure that the date set is a good time and day for you. But that takes the stress away from you having to actually call for the service, make sure that we're staying on top of your service. We do all of that for you on the back end. And then we have our preferred pest and termite control, which gives you everything in the pest control plan, as well as termite baiting, which is our termite warranty essentially. So Most liquid termite treatments are between $1,000 to $2,000, sometimes even more, and that doesn't include the price of your termite damages to replace it. When you have our termite baiting system, it just adds about $25 a month to your general pest control plan. And that comes with our warranty that if for some crazy reason you ever got a termite issue, we would do a liquid treatment of the affected area at no cost to you. So you're going to save $1,000 or more. Not to mention, because we're staying on top of this in the first place, checking it every year, your damages are going to be minimal because you're not just waiting until one day 10 years down the road a wall's falling down. And then the last option that we have that most people tend to go for in terms of just best overall bang for buck is our 5-star total pest protection, which we actually just recently changed the name of this. We wanted it to stay on the Preferred brand. We now call this our Preferred Pest Protection Plan. A lot of P's in there. But with this plan, you're going to save over $500, close to actually $1,000 per year. So this includes everything in the first two plans, like it says here, everything in the Preferred Pest and Termite package, but it also includes mosquito and tick control, fire ant prevention, and rodent control as well. So if you were to add all these things up, they usually add up to over like $3,000 per year. This plan usually comes out to somewhere around like $1,800 to $2,500 a year for most people. So like I said, you're saving anywhere between like 500 even 1,500 in some cases, depending on the size of your home and your lot, all these different variables per year. So how we describe it to everybody is like you're essentially getting your pest and termite control for free for the year whenever you go with this package. And of course, if you want to learn just anything else about like our general pest control or mosquito control, like I said, I'll link this entire page down below in the description box. It even goes in deep detail about just all the different neighborhoods that we service in the Plano, Texas area. And of course, if you're not in the Plano, Texas area and you're watching this still and just wondering if we service your area, you can actually zoom in on here. This highlighted areas where we service. Now, we are starting to go out a little bit more west because we've been having a lot more demand out there recently. So if ever in doubt, just feel free to give us a call. Say, hey, I seen you all on YouTube. I'm dealing with a pest issue, or I'm wanting to stay ahead of a pest issue, and we'll pull up your address online real quick and let you know if we service your area. But I appreciate you guys so much again for tuning in. As always, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, feel free to go ahead and do so. I actually tend to post more content on here from our blog specifically in terms of just like how you can prevent different pests from entering your home. So, if that interests you, especially in this Dallas, Texas area where we have lots of different pests, rodents, and wildlife, termites, this and that, go ahead and subscribe. And like I said, give us a ring if you need some pest control service in Plano.